Hi everyone, welcome to Build with Shreya. Today we are at the GIIC, which is happening at the XECA, which is an amazing venue near Brandenburg Gates. And we have a really good line of guests today who we're talking to in depth around innovation that's going to happen with the Indo-German partnership coming along in more of a digital sense. Hi, Jan. So, what is GIIC, the German India Innovation Corridor? I mean, I've heard a lot of times that the relationship between both the countries is amazing anyway. So, what are we trying to do here? Are we trying to innovate? If yes, in what ways? And what are the kind of goals that GIIC is having?
I mean, why did we do the summit is pretty straightforward. At the end, the summit is a stage and a gateway and a stepping stone to a bigger mission. And the mission is about Germany plus India for the world, which means Germany and India should form a partnership because each has what the other respectively needs. But it's not just about those two countries to strengthen their bonds, to have better business relationships, to have better political relationships, but it's about what those two countries could do together for the world. Have a global footprint in a world that is more in turmoil, where old allies are not as reliable anymore as they were. And now the question is, in which world do we want to live 10 years from now, 20 years from now? And who are our partners? And are we relevant 10 years from now? Now, India, without question, will be relevant because India is on the rise. The best years of India are yet to come. And therefore, the question to Germany is, can be and do we want to be a partner of India on this journey? And our answer is clearly yes. That's the opportunity. That's the opportunity that Germany, and I say that as a German, that Germany needs to act now, needs to do now, needs to feel the sense of urgency now, that actually in order to stay competitive, to stay relevant over the next 10, 15, 20 years and into the future, we need to find the right partners, the partners that have a similar value set, the partners that create the world that we want to live in. And one of those partners, or rather the partner, is India. And that's why we do the summit. That's why the summit is essentially the stage in order to create this sense of urgency of coming together, Germany and India now, and act together. And aside the sense of urgency, the understanding of the potential. We called it the wow effect. We were trying to show the wow on the Indian side, what Germany still is able to do, the innovation, the thought leadership, the manufacturing excellence, the research capabilities, a core strength where Germany is still world leading, that Germany brings to the table that India could benefit from now. Vice versa, the wow effect on the German side, what is happening in India right now? What innovation drive is there? What youth is there? It's not just about the mere size of the market, the mere size of the population. It is the drive that is there, the hunger, the talent, the solutions already that Germany could benefit from, that the German core backbone of the economy, the Mittelstand, the SMEs could benefit from, because this is actually what they are lagging. That's what they're lacking. They're lagging behind because of that. And in that sense, it could be a perfect partnership, a match. Germany and India makes so much sense, but it's not happening automatically because it's still other partnerships that have a higher priority. And that's why we brought those decision makers together, 300 decision makers, 150 from India, 150 from Germany, in order to create this first circle of believers, and from there create a ripple effect, create more believers, because it takes a lot of shoulders to carry this mission. If Germany plus India becomes a reality, Germany plus India for the world, creating a corridor that has a global impact and creates economic prosperity, innovation, leadership, and geopolitical stability in a world that is more challenging, then that is a massive endeavor. And therefore we need to create allies, believers following that visions. We cannot do it alone. The 300 people who were in the room during our summit cannot do it alone. It needs many more. And so the summit was a first step on a 10-year plan in order to accomplish this.
Hi, Upen. Welcome to Build with Shreya. So, I'm sure our audience is curious to know, how did the first GIIC summit go? Were there any tangible actions that you could see happening, any partnerships forming? I mean, having 300 decision makers in the same room, speaking the same language of innovation, that is inspiring. And I'm sure that more than discussions, it must have led to certain concrete opportunities that people identified.
And when you look at whatever happened in the last 100 years, it's very interesting. If we do not define our own future, someone else is going to define us by using the past data. And I'm not sure if that's super exciting either for India or for Germany. I think what we have to do is use a proactive approach to shape the next decade. Now, what's challenging with the next decade? Challenging thing is whatever has happened in the last 100 years can actually happen in the next 10 years because of the exponentiality at which the technology is impacting the lives, the normal human lives, and the change that is being brought up. Germany plus India for the world. Which world are we talking about? The world that is going to be immensely connected. The world that's going to look at immensely sharing what we have. The world that is going to need completion more than competition. And that's where you team up based on skills. Don't get me wrong. We both have same urgencies right now. It's just that we have different toolkits and different skills and different know-hows. If we combine that together, there is no stopping. Let's be relevant for at least 35, maybe 40 other countries who are going to enter the development stage that other countries already are. And there's a roadmap. So India clearly came up with 2047. India wants to become a developed country. So how can Germany, as a meaningful, trusted partner, fuel that roadmap with that tangible growth? That is what we are looking at, and that's why we brought these innovators together. On the other side, it's going to be 100 years after the war. In 2045, 2047 is when India is celebrating and wants to become the developed country. We will have a different perspective in Europe. How do we want Europe to look 100 years after the war? And that is the biggest opportunity right now. Combining the powers, when we know that digital public infrastructure is amazing in Europe, and that's exactly a need in Asia and largely, especially in India. But India is very good in terms of digital public infrastructure. That's the gap that we need to fill in Germany and wider Europe. I think that will be super, super exciting. And it cannot happen if we keep on doing business the traditional way. That's why what we want to focus on is really giving that platform for the innovators. It's about the innovation exchange, and that diversity and set of values and the ability of technology plus scale based on the values of two democratic systems will create a very, very positive world, and something that is, very enriching for the generations to come. I believe we can set a very good foundation for the next 10 years, or within the next 10 years. I mean, that's why, like Jan said, why are we relevant to each other 10 years from now? Let's start giving that answer and say, this is how we are becoming relevant. How do we do it? Different programs. Not only that we need to have positive news about innovation between the two countries, but we need to have new enablers, new supporters on both sides. That's why it's a bilateral corridor. The corridor that's bilateral in nature, where speed and innovation is key, so that we have results in 18 months. That will add agility to the entire relationship. And this is what we are looking forward to. What do we do next? All these conversations of 300 amazing minds during the last 2 days is going to get converted into partnerships. Maybe some of them will be very, very surprising partnerships. The others will convert into projects, both short-term, mid-term, but driven by a long-term vision. And of course, We will look at creating multiple exchange hubs. India is a very big country. And I think it will be a fascinating move to how we start connecting after we create this, let's say, value co-creation centers, right? And that's the value that would be very interesting for the rest of the world. Was a fascinating summit. We finished those 2 days. We pulled this off, but after the summit is before the summit, and we can see the traction already with the requests from the people. So what would be, let's say, those 5 topics that we shared already, but what would be the sequence of those 5 announcements and relevance of that 5 announcements? That
No, I'm personally very excited about the German-Indian Open Innovation Initiative.
Yeah.
I think it's the right thought and platform at the right time, because it is, at the end, an invitation for partners to come together. Corporates from India, corporates from Germany, have backbone technology providers like fiber. You're very excited about fiber.
Absolutely.
So what makes you excited about fiber in this context?
This eases out innovation waste, right? So fiber amazingly eases out a key element for innovators. We don't have to double work. It's a foundation where interoperability is easy, but the standards of different countries vary a lot. So Fiber Foundation brings in a unique capability where the standards on which you build intelligent things is also the set of standards that's recognized in India. And that's the beauty of it. The second is, with the strong community, together with GIIC and Fiber, we're going to be able to build a very nice marketplace. And that's very unique about this relationship and partnership that we have with them.
And where do you see the fields, the use cases in for the Open Innovation Initiative?
Jan, I think we have to make sure that we accelerate the climate action. So allow innovators to contribute to climate action. It's not waiting for anybody, whether it doesn't matter which country you're. So we can give that access. So
that by nature is for the world.
Exactly. The second, I think the growth is going to happen in manufacturing sector, and because of manufacturing sector, industrialization. So we need to have programs that will fundamentally help moving from yester tech to tomorrow tech. That's absolutely important. So that's the second.
And it's a core strength of Germany, no?
Core strength of Germany.
Manufacturing excellence.
Absolutely.
And I love the topic that you like to bring up, which is AI for manufacturing. So maybe say a few words about that.
Absolutely. So AI for manufacturing, this is again going to fundamentally change how we looked, shaped, and lived from shop floor to top floor. Right now, there's a lot of AI on the top floor. There's a lot of, moving beyond automation. But the real autonomy cannot arrive if we don't fix the fundamentals into how machines think and act. And that's a significant transformation.
So then manufacturing is the second.
Now, our generations, everybody is growing up with these smart devices. They expect everything around you to be smart, which means those windows, if they don't do anything beyond what they are, they will probably be a little bit, just useless, right? But there is now, with the new technology, there's a way that your window can also become access to your solar, absorbing the solar power. And so these are the kind of things that are exciting in terms of smart infrastructure. It doesn't only mean digitally connected. It actually means to create those new values, and new values will drive, and keep it human, right?
So climate action, manufacturing, smart everything.
Smart everything. Okay. Yeah. These are 3, let's say, topmost priorities. There will be also sectors like railway, where Germany has the knowledge. India has the largest rail network. I think that is one sector where people and goods mobility wise, we can make a fundamentally big difference, because this is. When you look at how many things are around the railway, and imagine it's not only the passengers who are with smart devices, but your trains, your maintenance schedules. So there's a full stack of opportunities. Let's see if we can tackle as a sector.
And then when the mobility could be blue mobility, I mean, we always forget to think that India has a large coastal line, no? So it's
Absolutely.
also blue mobility. No?
Blue mobility. I like the word blue mobility because at the moment the vessels in the ocean are the most polluting ones, right? And I think to gradually drive that not only towards greener means, or just to change like a massive oil engine into a solar barge. That's not the point. The point is also how these systems near each other can communicate, can avoid disasters, can give much better decision power. So from coast to near shore to offshore, I think that's a new value chain that will come. So transformation there is definitely possible.
So exciting. Open innovation platform, the German-Indian open innovation platform. And then, of course, we are open as much for whatever opportunities arise and the need is there. No?
Absolutely, Jan. I think we need to spread that message and invite participation. We are open for your participation into this both ways. Number one, bring in your problem. So you ask me, how can I contribute? As a corporate, as a business, you have set of challenges. Let's not call it problems. Challenges and opportunity. So you have opportunity areas that you can bring on this platform. You have solutions that you know. You can bring the solutions on this platform and say, okay, let's plug this in. So there is opportunity for both. And then in the end, look, if something like this comes, we can benefit from the sum total of the single portfolios or startups. The sum total will be a very, very big game-changing approach to drive large-scale transformations.
And then it's at the end also about the shift in mindset. I mean, open innovation by nature is about collaboration. Collaboration with others. They are not your competitors, but you actually might be good in something specific, and you might be a champion in that, but not in another field. So maybe your competitor is actually very a champion in that field. If you bring your both championesses together, then you create much better solutions.
Bring your own, BYOS, bring your own strengths to the table, to the party. Amazing what you said. Actually, more than open innovation, we should even start calling it collaborative innovation.
Agree. Couldn't agree more.
That's the purpose. Collaborative innovation based on the purpose, so that our purpose plus people plus planet is then the new profit. Any of this is not invested in well, your profit dimensions will not be, let's say, appreciative.
True.
Yeah, I'm excited. So let's invite everybody to join us in this journey. We have 363 days to go before we will
summit.
come and celebrate all the projects and ventures and adventures that we will do in the next 363 days. And Build with Shreya, watch this platform, because this is where a lot of the innovators and are going to come on this podcast. They're going to share their ideas. We are happy to, and maybe some of our projects are going to be highlighted on Build with Shreya as well. So let's build it. Let's build it together.